Good morning, Artesia. First and foremost, let me take a moment to thank each and every one of you being here. Our residents, business owners, community leaders, our media partners especially, and several elected officials. I want to give a big shout out to my city council, Mayor Pro Tem Trevino, Councilwoman Ramoso has done an incredible job to put this thing together, Councilman Manalo, as well as Councilman Ahir. Your presence shows how much we all care about our great city of Artesia. Artesia is more than just a city. It's a family. We are a small city, 16,500 residents, 1.5 square mile, mighty in spirit, woven together by many cultures, backgrounds, and stories. That's what makes us strong. That's what makes us Artesia. Today, I want to speak directly from the heart to everyone who lives, works, and does business in our great city of Artesia. I know many of have heard about the recent immigration enforcement activities happening across Southern California. It has created a lot of uncertainty, and for some, real fear. We've heard it from residents, we've heard it from business owners, especially in our city. As your mayor and city council, I want you to know and assure you that we hear you and we are with you and we stand with you. Let me be absolutely clear, and I say this, let me be absolutely clear. Public safety is our top priority. Every single person in Artesia deserves to feel safe, respected, and valued. Our city not operates in fear. We operate in unity, dignity, and respect. To our residents, I know this is a stressful time. If you are feeling anxious, please know that you are not alone. You have rights. You have resources. We encourage you to attend Know Your Right workshop, held weekly by the county, and all rights are here, City Hall as well as Community Center. We have red cards available clearly explaining your legal protections. To our businesses, you're not just an economic engine of great city of Artesia. You are a cultural heart. Your shops, restaurants, salons, and service parts of what makes the city vibrant and unique. And you have right to operate with confidence. The city is here to navigate during this tough time. We stand together with you. We are working closely with the county and trusted partners to make sure your businesses has tools what it needs to stay strong and safe. To everyone, check with your neighbor. Support your local businesses. Show up for each other the way Artesians always have. A warm smile, a kind words, a simple visit, it all matters more than ever right now. Our small businesses are very important. We are a small city. We are we get our revenue through small businesses. Small businesses are important. We do not get our tax revenue through any of the property tax. We rely and depend on businesses. And we support our businesses extremely. And let's not forget to thank incredible nonprofit and local leaders who are stepping up, offering legal help, advocacy work, and comfort to many families whose work is seen and deeply appreciated. I want to also give a big shout out to the law enforcement who have done an incredible job to keep our great city safe. This may be a challenging moment, but let's be honest, Artesia has never backed down from challenge. We rise to it, we meet it together, and we come stronger because we do not leave anyone behind. Thank you for your care, thank you for your courage, and thank you for being what it takes Artesia a strong community like no other. We stand together. We move forward together. Thank you, and may Artesia always stay united, stay strong, and safe. Thank you. Now I'd like to pass it along to Congressman Derek Tran's office.
Good morning. My name is Cody Mendoza. I'm District Director for Congressman Derek Tran. I'm going to be sharing a comment on his behalf. Like so many of our neighbors, I've been deeply troubled by the recent raids that ICE has been conducting in our community. Of course, I want our community to be safe, but what ICE is doing right now is not making us safer. When I tried to do my oversight as a congressman and visit the Adelanto ICE facility to monitor the health and safety of detainees, I was locked out. This administration is deliberately sowing chaos to divide us and to distract us from the fact that they are literally taking food off tables of working families to give billions of dollars to the most wealthy. We need investigations. We need oversight. We need accountability. My office has been working diligently to make sure that our community members have the resources they need. I want to say very clearly, if you need help, if your loved ones need help, if your neighbor needs help, my office door is always open. As long as I represent you, I'm going to keep fighting for you, no matter what. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Los Angeles County Sheriff Chief George Valdez.
Good morning. As stated, my name is George Valdez. I'm the chief for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department that operates and commands our South Patrol Division within patrol operations. On behalf of the Sheriff of Los Angeles County, Sheriff Robert Luna, and the men and women of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, I'd like to thank everyone for allowing us to be here. I understand recent news and actions around immigration enforcement have understandably raised concerns within our communities. We've all seen incidents occur in our communities, and I want to speak to those concerns today. I want to make it abundantly clear to everybody here in our communities that the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is not involved in federal immigration enforcement operations. We do not ask about immigration status when responding to calls for help. We do not enforce federal immigration laws. That is the responsibility of the federal government, not our department. Our duty is to serve and protect everyone's rights within our communities, regardless of where you were born, the language you speak, or your immigration status. We are here to build public trust and keep you safe. We depend on your trust to do our jobs. The trust is built when you feel comfortable calling 911, reporting crimes, cooperating with investigations, or simply walking down the streets feeling safe. When people are afraid to speak with our deputies or law enforcement, the whole community is less safe. Let me also say this to our immigrant families who live and work within our communities. You are a vital part of the community. You deserve safety, respect, and to protect your rights. We will not allow fear and confusion to drive a wedge between us. To be clear, our priority is local public safety, not federal immigration actions. Our focus remains on preventing crime, solving crimes, and ensuring that everyone feels safe and valued. I encourage anyone who has questions or comments or concerns to reach out to us. We are here to listen, to support, and to protect. Together, we will build a safer, more united community where everyone belongs. Thank you, and with that, it's my honor to introduce the Mayor of Cerritos, Mayor Frank Yokoyama.
I am Cerritos Mayor Frank Aurelio Yokoyama, and the city of Cerritos is unwavering in its commitment to the safety and well-being of our people and your property. That is why, when the City Council approved their strategic plan last December, we made enhancing public safety our #1 goal. I'm incredibly proud of the progress we've made in the last 6 months, with property crime down and new public safety initiatives picking up steam. Since the new City Council was officially seated in late March, we have witnessed some remarkable moments in public safety. Since January, Cerritos is trending down in terms of residential burglaries. In February, the total number was 19, followed by 12 in March, 7 in April, and 8 in May. Please note that during the months of January and a portion of February, the Cerritos Sheriff's Station was operating with minimal staff while they provided emergency assistance during the Pacific Palisades and Altadena fire. Despite lower staffing levels, the number of residential burglaries in Cerritos during the first 4 months of 2025 still represents a 7.5% reduction from that same period last year. Also notable is that all other types of burglaries, like businesses, storage lockers, and detached garages, are down over 34% between January and May when compared to the same period in 2024. Crime prevention and response from the Cerritos Sheriff's Station and the Cerritos Community Safety Division is not possible without the support of the Cerritos City Council and feedback from our residents and businesses. In response to community concerns, the city has taken significant steps to reduce property crime. We have prioritized residential burglary alarm calls, reducing average response time of our deputies from 24 minutes last year to just 7 minutes today. Since last December, the city has been installing multiple automated license plate recognition cameras at key high-volume intersections. Another round of camera installments was completed last week, which gives us a total of 11 intersections being monitored by Alper cameras. By processing license plate data in real time, these cameras enhance our ability to deter crime, respond more effectively to crime, and keep Cerritos neighborhoods safe. Cerritos has increased the number of community safety officers by 66%. This growth, along with the addition of more patrol vehicles and expanded coverage areas, increases our patrol capabilities. To give our Cerritos Station deputies real-time awareness during high-risk field investigation, the city has secured approval from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department to deploy aerial drones, our eyes in the sky, to support patrol operations. Cerritos Sheriff's Station is the first patrol station to be granted approval by the LASD to deploy aerial drones in support of field operations. The city of Cerritos is proud to stand strong with the cities of Southeast Los Angeles County. With all of our cities' collective, unwavering commitment to the safety and security of our residents and businesses, our Southeast Los Angeles County cities will continue to be safe. Thank you. I now introduce Bell Gardens Mayor Jorge Chavez.
Good morning, everybody. Muy buenos días a todos. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for being here, those in the audience, as well as our law enforcement here from our sheriff's office. You know, we're living in dangerous times throughout Southeast Los Angeles, in my city of Bell Gardens, in Sela, as we like to call ourselves. And I really appreciate the fact that our cities like Artesia, Cerritos nearby, here, city of Lakewood, I know is present as well, that are stepping up and having this press conference, because all of our communities are feeling the impact, right? I like to say, and we all know it, that this nation is a nation made up of immigrants. And what we're seeing right now, this terrorization from the federal government on people like me, people like my community, it's unfortunate. A lot of times these immigrants came to this nation looking for a better opportunity, fleeing gang violence, fleeing political instability, fleeing the breakdowns. And it's unfortunate that when they get here, right, they're being treated this way. My mother was one of those immigrants. She came to this country undocumented to hopefully one day see her son, myself, be a mayor of a great city like Bell Gardens. And the fact that now my community is being terrorized once again, it's completely unfortunate. And to be quite honest, it's very un-American. Here in America, where we're granted certain rights, where we have due process, where you have your Miranda rights, we're clearly seeing videos, evidence, documented incidents in which individuals are being picked up, regardless of your status, just by the way you look like, racial profiling, by Border Patrol, the DHS, or whatever they are, because they're not identifying themselves. And it's been very difficult to engage. Within these last 5 years, back in 2020 when we had the protests of George Floyd, it's taken quite a while for our police agencies to build that trust, to once again regain the trust of the community. And for the federal government to come in and to disturb that, it's a true mistake. So it's been very difficult engaging with our law enforcement partners, trying to gauge what's the next step. In my city, we've taken the approach to cancel our 4th of July celebration. I'm asking folks that instead spend the time with your family, right? The last thing I want as an elected, as a mayor, the number one priority for us is public safety. And the last thing I want is for us to be at a park like this and ICE shows up and starts picking up my residents, right? They came in looking for a good time to see a laser show or to see fireworks like I know in some cities, but then to have to leave in handcuffs. And that's what we don't want. And we're clearly seeing that. We're seeing it in graduation ceremonies. We're seeing it at daycare centers. We've seen countless occasions. Not to mention all the raids that are happening on the Home Depots, the Lowe's. So again, I believe that it's very un-American. It's unfortunate that the right likes to take this. And initially it was going to be a going after the criminals, but we're seeing the opposite, right? Completely un-American as we approach 4th of July. So once again, I just want to thank everybody for being here. It's important to continue to get this message out. I know that there's some progress being done at the federal level. So consistently pushing the bar. I want to go ahead and just take the time and just acknowledge that our immigrant families aren't alone. That we're going to continue pushing, we're going to continue fighting, and we're going to make sure that we can hold this government accountable. If the federal government's not going to be there for our residents, the city government will be there for its residents. So once again, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'd like to call up Mayor Arturo Flores from the city of Huntington Park. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hi, good morning. My name is Arturo Flores. I'm the mayor with the city of Huntington Park. First and foremost, I want to start by thanking you all for being here today, present with us this morning, and also my colleagues that are standing here behind me. I wanted to come here just to tell you guys a brief story of an incident that happened in my city this past week. A family in Huntington Park at 6 a.m. Was awakened by a shape charge, an explosion that blew the door off of their handles. In that home was Jenny, a resident of Huntington Park, her 6-year-old son and her 1-year-old son. They were looking for her boyfriend, Jorge. Initially, they told me, we don't know what they were doing there. You have, 45 to 50, armed military, federal agents, full tactical gear. They're using shape charges to blow doors off, sending in drones. So they cautioned, Mayor, I would just stay away from it. You don't really know what's happening. And if you know who I am, I'm not staying away. So I directly went over there and started talking to the family. This is the same family that was involved in a traffic accident. I'm gonna say that one more time, a traffic accident that took place in the city of Bell the week before. They're driving a black Jeep. They happened to be driving in front of a car wash when ICE decided to conduct an enforcement operation. At that point, there was an accident that I would say was caused by some of the reckless driving that we've been trying to call attention to. And so essentially what we're talking about here is a fender bender. I went back that night and talked more with the family. And Jorge had turned himself in. He was out, 3 hours after he turned himself in on a $5,000 bill. And I asked him, Jorge, like, what do you do? Like, are you part of the cartels? Are you like this kingpin? Like, who are you? And Jorge's like, no, I do deliveries for Starbucks. We got into an accident last week and all we did was ask the federal government to reimburse the damage they had done to our property. And he's like, and this is how they responded to me, to us seeking, damages that were caused by the federal government. So I want to just put that into perspective so you understand the level of violence, the level of, heavy-handedness that's happening. And by the way, Jorge and Jenny are both U.S.-born citizens. They are not undocumented. And they are hardworking parents and they're proud residents of the city of Huntington Park. So I like to call on ICE, California Border Patrol, to cease and to stop their campaign of retaliation against this family and to do the right thing and reimburse that family for the damages and harm that they've caused. With that being said, what these types of situations are causing essentially, and as you see some of the brave men and women that are standing behind us and next to us, there's a thin blue line, right? Or the image of a thin blue line. And that thin blue line represents a small population of women and men who have taken the call to action to protect our communities. Historically, these men and women have been politicized. They've been, demonized, you name it. But yet they've been brave enough to continue their duty to our community. The federal government has came into our communities and bulldozed that blue line. Let me say that one more time. The federal government has came into our communities and bulldozed the thin blue line. The years and decades of hard work that law enforcement has spent building trust and with community members is being deteriorated at a unimaginable rate. And so I really want individuals that continue these operations to really understand the damage that they're causing to our communities, not only to the residents, not only to our economy, but also to the relationship of local law enforcement and the impacts that that's going to have in the future when it comes to reporting crime and whatnot. I'll be brief in Spanish as well. I know we have some Telemundo Univision as well. Buenos días, mi nombre es Arturo Flores. Quiero darle las gracias por venir aquí ese día y también a mis compañeros que me están acompañando detrás. Les quiero contar una historia sobre una familia que es parte de mi ciudad, en Huntington Park. Estoy hablando de la familia de Jorge y Jenny. Hace una semana, ellos fueron despertados a las 6 de la mañana por explosivos y su puerta de su casa se fue explotada. Ahora ellos tenían allí su hijo de 6 años y su otro hijo de 1 año. Yo fui en la mañana para hablar con esa familia para preguntarles qué había pasado. Hay 50 hombres en táctica militar, te explotaron la puerta, mandaron drones, y cuando estaba hablando con ellos me contaron que simplemente la semana que había pasado ellos estaban en un accidente de tráfico con un agente del gobierno federal. No sé si era ICE o Border Patrol. Ahora, hace 2 días antes de ese incidente, ellos pusieron un reclamo para que apagaran por el carro, por el choque. Y el gobierno federal respondió con un nivel de violencia, con un nivel de de tácticas militares imaginable, ¿verdad? Entonces, lo que yo quiero hablar es, imagínense en eso, ustedes, sus familias, chocan con alguien y simplemente hoy en día se cambia la aseguranza y se va uno por su propio lado y la aseguranza se toma cargos. Ahora, Jorge ese día fue y se entregó. En 3 horas Jorge ya había salido bajo fianza por $5,000. Y yo le pregunté a Jorge, ¿trabajas para el cartel? ¿Quién eres? Y Jorge dijo, no, pues yo manejo deliveries por Starbucks. Y le dije, pues, ¿cuáles eran los cargos? Y dice Jorge, los cargos eran daños a propiedad federal. Entonces, la razón por que digo esa historia es porque lo que está pasando ahorita es en la comunidad de policías, ¿verdad? Hay un símbolo de la bandera americana que tiene una línea delgada que es azul, y esa línea representa la población de los hombres y mujeres de nuestros departamentos de policía que están trabajando para proteger a nuestra comunidad de los criminales, de ser víctimas. Y el gobierno federal está entrando y está destruyendo esa línea. Entonces, lo que yo estoy pidiendo al gobierno federal, a esas personas que están tomando esos operativos, es primera cosa es que piensen del daño que están causando a la relación que ha tomado décadas entre la comunidad y los departamentos de policía, porque lo que están haciendo ahorita está causando mucho daño. Y con eso les dejo ese mensaje. With that being said, I'll now call on Councilmember David Arellano from the city of Lakewood. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay. Just want to say good morning, buenos dias. Just want to say special thanks to the city of Artesia for opening up your city and your homes for all of us to be here. I'm a city council member, David Arellano, from the city of Lakewood. Like many of you, I've been closely watching the recent federal immigration actions that have occurred throughout Southern California, including the city of Lakewood and our businesses. While the enforcement of immigration law falls outside the city's control, the well-being of our residents, no matter their immigration status, is a concern all of us up here have. We are deeply concerned over the fear, the chaos, and these policies have brought to our residents and our communities. As a Latino and a father, I never thought that I would be driving down the street and worry about the color of my skin. I am particularly concerned for the families, the children who have suffered disruption and distress, especially the hardworking families that have no criminal history. In Lakewood, we value public safety, respect the law, and treat every resident with compassion and dignity, no matter their background. What we're seeing happening in our communities is some ways counter to those values. I know that those who may differ in values or views, but what I think we all agree on is there a better way? Even if the federal authorities prioritize enforcement on individuals who pose real threats in our communities, but we ask for them to do it with transparency, due process, and basic human respect and rights. I know we all support peaceful expression of our First Amendment rights, as well as firmly condemning violence towards anyone of any kind. I hope that what we see here today prompts others to speak up peacefully, whatever their views, so we can bring back to a sense of unity and the implementation of policies that is torn apart. Thank you everyone for your time. Be safe and have a good day. And right now we're going to go to the Mayor of Artesia.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining today, especially media partners, elected officials, the residents, and especially businesses. At this time, I'm going to close out by saying, we all stand together. These are tough times, but we will get through this together. like many of my elected official fellows said, that we represent our communities, and communities is residents, businesses. We are hurting. We are not going to break a law. We'll follow the law. But at the same time, there are different ways to reach out. This is an overreach. We stand together. We want to follow the law, but at the same time, we don't want to be hurt, whether it's a resident, whether it's a business, any communities across Southern California, or across US. With that, once again, thank you all so very much for coming, and we'll be available for questions. Thank you. Okay.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, can you talk about some of the ICE raids that have happened in this area and how they've affected the community?
Sure. So in Artesia, we've had a couple of ICE raids. Those happen in car washes that we've experienced, and those were the couple of ones that we've experienced. And of course, that has created fear, that has sent a message that is across not only Artesia but neighboring cities as well. And we've also experienced in our neighboring church having U.S. Marines and Guards to come in, and really they were there for their own personal reasons, worship and so on, but it did create a fear because they were in uniform. Our father was able to talk to them, but of course that really presented a lot of fear.
And so when you say it's impacted local businesses, that's what you mean? You mean that the employees there are either getting detained or are afraid to come into work?
Yes, afraid to come into work. It has definitely, like I said, our city is a small city, but how we get our revenue is not from property tax. We get our revenue through businesses, their sales tax. And, knock on wood, we've been able to balance our budget. We've been able to keep the crime low, but we thrive on revenues from businesses. And when business hurt, people do not come to work, then that is really impacting our city revenues as well. But more than anything else, it is creating a fear among business as well as employees as well. They're not able to come to the work.
And have you seen Marines, working anywhere in the area?
We've seen a National Guard come to city of Artesia, like I shared, and they've been around surrounding cities, and we've definitely seen the visibility of National Guard, for sure.
What can other people do to help this?
So, like I shared, certainly get educated, support each other, be visible, and there are red cards which are available in our community center as well as our city hall. Those are for businesses, but be visible, support each other. Just like I said, say something. Again, we will follow the law, but at the same time, we will be visible as to support our residents, our businesses, especially. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day.